Namaste Mitro, Varun here. What is a computer? Is it silicon, copper, microchips, or is a computer just anything that can take an input, change its state and give an output? Because if that's true, then this 1.4 kilogram squishy lump of salt, water and fat sitting inside your skull is the most sophisticated computer in the known universe. And it runs on 20 watts of power. That is less electricity than the light bulb inside your refrigerator. Your brain is running spatial recognition, processing existential dread, and remembering an embarrassing thing you said in 2012. All on the power budget of a dim nightlight. Meanwhile, training single AI model on silicon GPUs requires enough energy to power a small town for a year. Yet, the GPU still has a hard time figuring out how many R's are in the word strawberry. So, engineers looked at the silicon energy wall and said, hey, why are we spending billions trying to build fake digital brains when we could just harvest real biological ones? Welcome to Biocomputing.
Varun, are you talking about putting microchips in my brain?
Hell nah.
I'm talking about taking human brain cells, growing them in a microchip and handing them a video game controller, which frankly sounds like a terrible premise for Matrix reboot.
At least better than the sequels though.
But stick with me.
Enter Cortical Labs, a biotech startup straight out of Australia. A few years ago, they took around 800,000 human living brain cells, grew it upon silicon chips and called the system as dish brains. And what did they do? Did they cure cancer, prevent diseases?
No, they thought it to play Pong.
Yes, table tennis. Neurons want predictability. So, within 5 minutes, the biological dish learned how to play Pong to make its world predictable. 5 minutes? It takes me 20 minutes just to find where I put my ID card. No pre-programmed lines of code, no backpropagation, just raw biological adaptation. And naturally, us nerds saw this and immediately asked the most important question.
Can it random?
And in 2026, Cortical Labs said yes. They escalated from Pong to their CL1 platform and put a clump of living human brain cells straight into the demon-slaying classic game of Doom. Were the neurons any good at Doom?
Bro, at least they were playing it.
Which brings us to an incredible realization. If we have biological hardware, do you need a PhD in neurobiology? Well, not anymore. Meet Final Spark, a company based in Switzerland. They built something called the BioCloud. That's right, they have incubator racks full of tiny mini brains floating in nutrient fluids. You can write a Python script, send an API request over the internet and literally execute code on a tiny living brain. You are quite literally pinging a brain over Wi-Fi. Imagine this, training an AI model inside a biological wetware cluster that consumes less energy than charging your earpods. But even though biocomputing sounds like sci-fi perfection, the research gap and practical challenges right now are wild. When your Intel or NVIDIA chip gets hot, you turn up the fan. When a biological organoid gets unhappy, it dies. Early organoids in labs survive for only a few hours. Final Spark has pushed their life support system to keep organoids alive and stable for almost 100 days. But after 100 days,
There is always a but.
Right now, storing stable digital data in living neurons is absurdly hard. Final Spark noted that reliably storing even 1 bit of information in an organoid's memory is a milestone. Why? Because a one might decide it wants to become a 0.85 just because it's having a midlife crisis at 3 weeks old. Well, how do you write if-else statements for a living biological circuit? You don't. Researchers have to use neurotransmitters like dopamine or precisely timed electrical pulses to reward them into desired behaviors. You are more of a dog trainer, yelling, "Good boy."
And that brings us to a huge unsettling question. When does a tool stop being a tool and start becoming someone?
For research, biocomputing isn't just about making faster computers.
it's a revolutionary mirror into the human mind. The career landscape is about to explode into entirely new industries. Wetware engineers are hardware engineers who can carry petri dish instead of a soldering iron. Neuroprogrammers are the ones who write software algorithms designed specifically for biological feedback loops. Transistors brought us into the digital age in 1947. Back then, nobody imagined a tiny piece of germanium would lead to you playing Fortnite on a fridge. Today, startups like Cortical Labs and Final Spark are standing at the exact same historical crossroad. Only this time, the transistor isn't made of silicon, it's alive.
Well, that's a wrap. But honestly, this is only the beginning of what we have planned for you this time.
At CSI VIT, we are bringing technology beyond the classrooms and turning it into experiences you can actually be a part of.
We will dive into the stories behind technologies and put your technical and problem-solving skills to the test. Something for everyone.
So don't just hear about the events, come experience them.
Because this tenure, we are not just keeping up with the technology.
We are creating future with it. And now, we would like to invite our CSI VIT convener, Dr. Amit Nerurkar, to share a few words with us.
Hi. Today, AI intelligence is largely powered by GPUs and silicon. Tomorrow, it may be powered by biology itself. Imagine replacing billions of GPU calculations with actual living neurons that naturally learn, adapt, and process information with remarkable energy efficiency. Biocomputing could therefore take us from artificial neural network inspired by the brain to computing systems that actually use biological neurons, potentially redefining the future of AI and computing. At CSI VIT, we believe technology is not just about learning, it's about exploring, creating, and experiencing. This tenure, we have an exciting journey planned for you. So come forward, participate, and make most of every opportunity. We look forward to seeing you all at CSI VIT for the upcoming academic year 26-27. Thank you.